Right, here we are, Saturday morning in the UK. I've had 3 previous rides trying to get myself back in the game, really, back to fitness. I understand there's probably about 20 riders here, we'll see in a minute. The Urumaze is stage 2 of the Makuri Madness. Really enjoyed the first one, actually, I've got to say. Zwift hitting the spot once again. The only thing I should have raced earlier on in the week when obviously there are more riders, but do you know, it makes for a really interesting race when you're riding with under 30 riders in the similar category. So we've got just under 16, well, just over 16 and a half miles. There's 2 key climbs here, and the first one is coming up within the first 25% of the race. It's roughly 650 feet across 16 and a half miles, so it's going to be a bit of a test. But I've got to perform, and I've got to leave it all on the course. That's the aim. I'm a little underpowered still. I've probably come from 30 watts down relatively. I reckon I'm about 15-20 watts down on power. So it's just got to be from the heart, this race. I've just got to hang in. There's 2 climbs, so obvious. Then we finish with a flattish run into the sprint. Great sprint on this Makuri course. It will be the same finish as stage 1. So, no idea about the competition. We're in the 450 to 570 ZRS. And as I said, I'm getting back into form. The good news is I'm bang on 75 kilos, so I've changed my Zwift. That's given me a couple of pounds or whatever, and I've put it on my profile because I need every little advantage. So I've been literally on a bit of a nutritional diet, eating better things, less French red wine. That always helps. And just watching me weight, I've been exercising core, sit-ups, press-ups, etc. But this is a test of the legs, clearly. 16 and a half miles, that's a decent ride for a race, I've got to say. 650 feet, well, you know, obviously there's races with much bigger climbs. But let's see, I'm ready for this. It's early Saturday morning in the UK. It's much cooler as well. Absolute key for me because I do not work well in the heat. I know obviously it affects other people, but particularly I'm going to mention it. Now I'm over 50, and I keep saying this, but I will mention it. Yeah, it really degrades my performance, especially towards the latter parts of the race. So look, let's have a look. We're still on the lead in 15 and a half miles to go, just over 1 mile done. Pretty much cruising, no one's breaking away. Everything's looking good. Let's have a look. Averaging 230, so a bit of a gentle start really. I'm going to say there's 200 feet on this climb, because if there's 600 overall, I can't see any other lumps and bumps of any note. So I'm going to say this is a 250 foot climb. Perhaps the other one is 150, 200, and the rest are, you see some tiny little undulations along the course. But 2 key. Let's see what happens anyway on this first. I'm going to be all in. I'm going to have to be all in. I can't face doing, 13, perhaps a bit more, 13 miles on my own. I can't face that, because if these other 19 riders climb up over the top. So operation, stay and do not get dropped, Mike. That's the aim. Feeling a bit really up for it today. Sometimes you just get on Zwift and you think, yeah, I'm having a bit today. No one's going to beat me. No one's going to drop me. I mean, obviously, I can't, just because I haven't the sprinting power of some of my peers, I can't just say I'm going to win it. You know, that's ridiculous. I've never actually won a race. I haven't got the sprinting power. And even in the much lower categories, people outsprint me. if we're down to the last 0.2 of a mile, last 1,000 feet, I get out sprinted. I've got better at sprinting, but the bottom line is I'm not going to win a race if I'm in a group of 5 to 10, especially at this level. So it's all about putting in a big performance, bit of pride, and beating my best, almost getting a personal best. So here we go. So you can see the blue at the top, but that's not the end. On the right hand side of the middle top graphic, there's two portions of this kind of climb. Someone's gone off with the aero there, Kennedy, the Brit. 6 watts a kilo, that's not inconsiderable. So he's setting down a tone here. Myself and Isman, everybody else is just behind. Let's see if Kennedy can keep that up. Well, he's still at 6 watts a kilo. Standing up, I'm going to have to do a lot of this. Doing about 350 there. And no one else is really coming with me here. Here we go, they are. So sit down and put it in. That's good. I was putting 330 and sat down. That's an improvement. Just stay with this pack. Forget Kennedy for a moment. He's got his 4 seconds now. We've got the Dane, Ericsson, Cholkin racing for TNP. The German there. Got 2 Japanese riders up here. South Korean, a 3rd Japanese, Kasai. The South Korean, just known as Dot. So, first part done, happy. Forget Kennedy's 6 seconds ahead. I'd be amazed if Kennedy's going to take the race to everybody with 14 miles to go, even if he goes over this top with 10 seconds ahead. I've put the aero boost. I'm going to sit down as long as possible. Still no end to that climb. Deceptive, this climb. It's longer than you think on the graphic on the far right, on the map graphic. We've probably done, I want to say 60% though. There you go. You can see the end, the blue. I'm still putting 340 sat down. Right, here goes. Way too early to stand, but I have to. Everyone else is using the feather. Look, after that blue, there's a bit more to go. That's demoralising. This is this deceptively long climb. Everyone's on the feather. I'm sticking in. So I'm alright sticking here, but I need to be sticking in going onto that blue part. We're pulling Kennedy back, as you can see. Staying in. I'm going nowhere. I'm not getting dropped. I really put it in here. Standing up again. Still a long way to go. It's a big effort. I'm nowhere am I getting dropped on this first bit. It's as simple as that. Come on, get over on this yellow. Stay in this group. There's a bit of blue recovery there. There we go. Just get onto that blue bit. They're coming through again. Right, here we go. I'm going to get up. I'm well positioned here. Do not let them get away. Get over on here. Need 400 watts there, yeah. Let's get back in that pack. 430, brilliant effort. Really proud of that. Put the power down there. Again, do not get dropped here. It's so easy for him to pull away. Can you see there? Just need to, just a little break, get some energy back. Get the blood flowing in those muscles again. They're not getting away. I'm up again. 430 watts. Look like they are getting away. 440. Come on. Put it in. That's it. Right. I'm almost in the back of the pack. Again, they could get away here. Come on, just get in the back of that pack. I'm getting a good draft there. There we go. There we go. Right, in. Nobody's running away from that. So what's Kennedy? Kennedy's on the front. Everyone's reined the front rider in. Brilliant. Not been dropped. That was a tough climb. We've dropped some riders. I want to say 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. So I think there's 13 riders, 7 riders dropped. And I'm over the top. Let's just get into the front 3 or 4. So there's no shenanigans and someone breaks away. We're on the plateau of this climb now, which probably, I reckon there's 2 miles of this. So I can get a bit of a rest. Just need to draft. Just need to be smart here. Draft to the absolute max. Look, I'm still doing 266 watts and I'm perfectly in the draft there. So they haven't completely rested up, but we caught the breakaway rider. Kennedy put a big effort in there, I've got to say. I'm sure the Brit is having a bit of a rest. We've got Fraser, the German, the South Korean just in front of me. I'm well positioned here. Look, everything from now is gearing up to that next big climb. Got to do this all over again. I hesitate to say it's probably the same height. What have we done now? 286 feet. Yeah, I thought it was 250. Let's fast forward this. Nothing really happened. There's a bit of a breakaway from Chalk in the TMP rider. Had a little go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds ahead on this plateau. I was not in a position to go chasing that rider. 19, 20 seconds ahead. I didn't realise that. Blimey, look at that, 27, 8 seconds ahead. We're on the descent now. Nobody in the group's chasing Chalking down, who's 30 seconds ahead and absolutely cruising. Absolutely busting a gut, 42 seconds ahead. Still doing 5 watts a kilo, shouldn't be in this group. Way too good, Chalking. I mean, total respect for your breakaway. Miles too good. Bit of a little bump here. So this is one of these 50, I'd say 30 feet catch-ups. We'll have done over 400 feet, and there'll be 230 to do to the end. So I reckon, yeah, 200 feet is the next climb. So it's not just a little bump like it says on the graphic. I'm just pulling through there. I felt fit, so why not? Let everyone catch up. I've got the feather, you can see. Obviously going to leave that for the big climb. And it's all in for this next climb. 6 miles to go, just over. 10.4 completed. Done over 26 minutes. So ordinarily on some of the quicker races, we'd be halfway by now. Sorry, we're well over halfway. We'd be near the finish. Perhaps 2 or 3 miles to go. That extra 4 miles is going to hurt, I'm telling you, especially with this big climb. Right, what have I got in the tank? I've been susceptible to the second climbs in the last 2 or 3 races. So I've done exactly this. I've stayed with the front lot. Chalking 50 seconds ahead. Mura, the Japanese rider, having a go up front, will rein that rider in, I've no doubt. Chalking's still doing 4.4 watts a kilo there. Blimey. Respect, what a breakaway from, what a huge breakaway from a huge distance out. Kennedy's in the pack there. Mura's out in the wind. I'm guessing trying to get a bit of distance before we get on this climb. Or pull everyone and break everyone. We end up catching that rider, the Japanese rider at the base of the climb, and then the rider goes again. Good tactics. Because I'm not going to bridge that gap there. That will break me for the climb. I'm going to need everything I've got. Let Ericsson just in front and Kennedy now. I'm doing 267 watts. We're not hanging about here. Got the climb any minute now. It looks like there's a little bump in the first part that isn't part of the main climb. Then a little bit of flat. which is good. I like that. Anything that breaks that climb, oh, here it comes, yeah. Anything that breaks that climb is good for me. So I can get a nice little break. I can push hard on the orange, which I will do. So I'm not going to be dropped after this. That's good news. 5.1 miles to go. Irrelevant, really. It's all on this climb. With only 20 riders, I reckon there's 13 in this front pack. Everyone else is miles behind, you can see. Choking 55 seconds ahead. There we go. Mura's 4 seconds ahead. Respect. Gone up that climb. Still holding position. Someone's used the aero. Kennedy's used the power up there. I'm not concentrating on anyone else who's using power ups. I just need to do this. It's just about my performance going up here and sticking with this pack. Again, I don't want to be rolling over the line on my own again. It's been a bit frustrating in the last 2 races because I've been vulnerable on these second climbs. As I said, I'm feeling good. Look at it, it's lots of orange. I can't stand up the distance. I'm not going to stand up on the distance there. We're closing Mura in. That'll just leave the number 1 rider right. I'm going to stand up here, take a break on the orange. This is a tactic. 440, that's keeping him in the group. We've brought Mura back in. Right. I've decided to use the feather because I'm not going to get dropped and then have the feather at the end when I can't, when it's not going to be effective, basically. So this is my tactic. Pushing hard over 3, trying to get over the 320, and then have these little breaks on the yellow. Everyone's using the feathers, which is good. That means everyone else is feeling like I'm feeling. I've pushed to the front part there in a good position, but that's broken me, that. Looks easy when you're watching it afterwards. Other people with the feather coming through. I need to stand up on this orange, otherwise I'm going to get dropped. Get up on there, 400 over. 400 watts, done it again in the yellow. I was nearly going to swear there. Just watching everyone come past. Right, come on. I need to get up on that orange and get in this pack. Just in the back. I'm getting a big draft on this. 4.1 to go. Right. This yellow's still 4%, 3%. No. So they're getting away. I shook my head there. Keep watching. I never say this on a video. I'm not letting them get away. Honestly, you won't believe this hurt. It really hurt. I knew I had to put 400 in. Still couldn't close the gap. I've just done that for another 5 seconds. That really hurts because everyone else is in a nice draft. You can see I'm getting a little draft. Bit of encouragement from somebody else there. Get in that draft. Otherwise I'm going to be dropped. Come on. Get on. A little bit more. Got a bit more drafts. One more stand up. Get into the pack. If they get on the descent and I'm not in the pack, I'm really pleased with that. That is one of the best mid-race performances I've ever done on Zwift. I can't. It looks easy. Post-commentary. You know, when we're looking at it now, you know if you know on Zwift, when you've burnt everything. Look, I'm even feeling like I'm getting dropped there. So I'm having to I need to be in that front 2 or 3 riders. Kennedy's going off again. The last thing I need is this blooming train now. I just need them all together. So again, look, that's making me vulnerable. I'm going to have to stand up again. I've got the aero. I might have to use that. I was absolutely shattered. 512 calories. Average 248. I've put it to 16th, sorry. accident there. Look, can you see? I've had to use the aero because I just didn't have the power sat down. You know when you're riding, when your legs go to jelly, I've come right through the aero boost. I don't care, I just need to be in the mix. Everyone thinks I'm going to go running off there. Believe me, I'm not. Happy to be in the mix, brilliant. So I want to say 2, 4, 6, 8. I think there's 10, 11 with MS. The Brit. Position 11. I think left in this front group. The other group miles behind, 1 minute. Choking 47 seconds, so we've reined that rider in a bit actually. I think, yeah, perhaps 10 seconds up that climb chasing. So let's speed up to about 1.5 miles to go. Oh, choking there. Fair play, just boomed us all away. So 1.5 to go. Looks like TU, the Japanese rider's having a go. I'm not having that. Let's bridge this gap. There's 1.5 miles to go. Let's Fress, the German, has chased and bridged the gap. And put a second. This is Kasai, the Japanese rider, just in front in the wonderful outfit. And Kennedy chasing to bridge down. This is what Zwift is all about. You know, everybody's probably feeling exactly like I'm doing now. They don't want to get dropped, and those riders are not going to get away. Choking did, respect, 54 seconds. Number 1. I suspect going into a bigger category next time. Must do. Just far too good for this category. And myself, let's be honest. Kasai using the feather. I've no power up. When did they get the feathers? Or surely they didn't forget to use them on the climb. Just going to stand up. We need to pull those 3 riders in. Looks like Kennedy and Shaker, the Australian, are thinking the same as me. We've got Ericsson, green jersey. Well done, Ericsson. 8, 9, 10. There's 10 riders in this front group. I don't want to get dropped on this train here. Not with 0.9 to go. I'm not having that. Just need to get a bit closer to the front. Doing 290 watts. This is fast. 320. Just rolled in. 0.8 to go. Fraze, the German. Well done. Going off there. Or is it? I'm struggling to keep up on the right hand side. No, it's Kennedy gone off again. I mean, Kennedy, big respect for the big power pushes you've put in, honestly. Kennedy and TU, the Japanese rider, 0.6 to go. Right, I've left everything on this blooming Makuri Island today, and I decided I'm going to put it in the sprint as well. I was actually feeling nauseous and I'm coughing now and hiccuping. I'm telling you now, I'm recording this and it's about half an hour after this race. I'm absolutely dehydrated and I've had about 2.5, 3 litres of water. Right, see the banner there. People are going to go perhaps at 0.2 mile. Look on the right, and I'm going to give it everything, absolutely everything. I'm in the mix here. Choking's won through the line. Oh, arrows are on. That means they're going to go. 0.2. Here we go. Right, let's get up. There's no way I'm going to have some of these riders. I'm going to chase them down. Look, 500 watts. This is immense for me. 530 and I've gone a long way out. 480. Come on. Come on, can I get that last rider? No, I can't. But, honestly, I'm so happy with that. What a result. What a result. One of my best rides ever on Zwift. Oh, unbelievable. 6th out of 20. I'm back. Competing, and that's the best thing. I performed way above what I'm at my ability there. Respect to the other riders and Cholkin, a big shout out. But I'm happy with what I did there. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. See you later.